What if humanity wanted to leave the Milky Way Galaxy forever? Could we one day travel beyond our galaxy and explore the universe outside it? It sounds like science fiction, but scientists have seriously studied this question for many years. The truth is both fascinating and terrifying. Even with the most advanced technology humans can imagine today, leaving the Milky Way Galaxy may be almost impossible. The Milky Way Galaxy is unbelievably huge. It contains our solar system, Earth, and somewhere between 100 and 400 billion stars. Our galaxy stretches across about 100,000 light-years. To understand how massive that is, remember this: light is the fastest thing in the universe. It travels at about 300,000 kilometers every second. Even at that incredible speed, light still takes 100,000 years to cross the Milky Way. Moving forward, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe our channel and turn on the bell icon so you never miss our next video. The fastest spacecraft ever built by humans is NASA's Parker Solar Probe. At top speed, it can travel around 692,000 kilometers per hour. That may sound extremely fast, but on a galactic scale, it is tiny. At that speed, it would still take millions of years just to leave our small part of the Milky Way Galaxy. Reaching another galaxy would take far longer than human civilization has even existed. The nearest large galaxy to us is the Andromeda Galaxy. It is located about 2.5 million light-years away from Earth. If humans somehow traveled at the speed of our fastest current spacecraft, reaching Andromeda would take billions of years. That means entire species could evolve or disappear before the journey even ended. One of the biggest problems with intergalactic travel is distance. Space is mostly empty, but the emptiness itself is the challenge. Inside our solar system, planets already seem very far apart. For example, Mars is millions of kilometers away from Earth. But compared to the distance between galaxies, our solar system is tiny. Traveling beyond the Milky Way would require crossing unimaginable amounts of empty space. Another major problem is time. Humans do not live long enough for these journeys. Even if a spacecraft could travel much faster than modern rockets, a trip outside the Milky Way might still take thousands or millions of years. That creates a huge question. How could humans survive such a long journey? Scientists have imagined several possible solutions. One idea is generation ships. These would be giant spacecraft where many generations of humans live and die during the journey. The people who begin the mission would never see the destination. Their children, grandchildren, and distant descendants would continue traveling through space for centuries or even longer. But generation ships create new problems. A spacecraft would need food, water, oxygen, energy, and stable living conditions for countless generations. Even a small failure could destroy the mission. Humans would also face loneliness, boredom, and psychological stress after living in deep space for such a long time. Another idea involves suspended animation or cryosleep. In science fiction movies, astronauts are often frozen while traveling across space. Scientists are studying whether humans could one day enter a sleep-like state for long journeys. Some animals already hibernate naturally, slowing down their bodies to survive harsh conditions. However, humans still do not have technology capable of safely freezing and reviving people for interstellar travel. Radiation is another giant danger in deep space. Earth is protected by its atmosphere and magnetic field, which block harmful cosmic radiation from the sun and space. But outside these protective layers, radiation levels become deadly. Astronauts traveling beyond the Milky Way would face constant exposure to dangerous particles that could damage the body increase cancer risk, and harm the brain over time. Even tiny objects in space become deadly at high speed. Dust particles floating in space may seem harmless, but during intergalactic travel, they could hit a spacecraft with enormous force. A small grain of dust moving at extremely high speeds could damage or even destroy parts of the spacecraft. Protecting a ship during such a long journey would be incredibly difficult. Fuel is another huge problem. Rockets need fuel to move, but carrying enough fuel for intergalactic travel may be impossible. The more fuel a spacecraft carries, the heavier it becomes. That extra weight requires even more fuel to move. This creates a difficult cycle that limits how far rockets can travel. Some scientists have proposed futuristic engines to solve this issue. One idea is nuclear fusion propulsion. Fusion is the same process that powers stars like the sun. If humans could control fusion safely, spacecraft might travel much faster than modern rockets. Another idea is antimatter engines, which could produce enormous amounts of energy. However, these technologies are still experimental and far beyond our current abilities. Scientists have also imagined light sails powered by lasers. In this concept, powerful lasers from Earth would push lightweight spacecraft through space using light itself. Projects like Breakthrough Starshot hope to send tiny probes to nearby star systems one day. But even these advanced concepts are designed for nearby stars, not for leaving the entire Milky Way Galaxy. There is also a speed limit in the universe. According to Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, nothing with mass can travel faster than light. This rule creates one of the biggest barriers to intergalactic travel. Since galaxies are separated by millions of light years, humans may never travel fast enough to reach them within a reasonable amount of time. Some scientists have explored strange ideas like wormholes. A wormhole is a theoretical shortcut through space-time. Instead of traveling across huge distances normally, a spacecraft could potentially move through a tunnel connecting distant parts of the universe. Wormholes appear in some physics equations, but no one knows if they truly exist or whether humans could ever use them safely. No real wormhole has ever been discovered. Scientists also believe they may be highly unstable, collapsing instantly before anything could pass through. To keep a wormhole open, theories suggest humans would need a mysterious substance called exotic matter with negative energy properties. At the moment, nobody knows whether such matter truly exists. A simple way to picture this is with a piece of paper. Imagine drawing two dots on opposite ends of the page. Normally, you would travel across the paper to move between them. But if you fold the paper so the dots touch, you could punch a hole directly through it. The trip suddenly becomes incredibly short. Scientists believe wormholes may work in a similar way, except with the universe itself bending through higher dimensions humans cannot fully see. Scientists realized Einstein's equations allowed for more than just black holes. In 1935, Einstein and physicist Nathan Rosen described a possible tunnel connecting two distant points in space-time. This became known as the Einstein-Rosen bridge, or what we now call a wormhole. Instead of traveling normally across huge distances, a spacecraft could theoretically enter one side of the tunnel and exit somewhere far away almost instantly. Physicist John Wheeler gave these strange tunnels the name wormholes in 1957. He compared them to a worm tunneling through an apple. Instead of crawling all the way round the fruit, the worm cuts directly through the middle as a shortcut. That simple image helped people understand one of the strangest ideas in modern physics. However, wormholes face enormous scientific problems. First, no one has ever found proof that they truly exist. Second, even if they do exist naturally, scientists believe they would collapse almost instantly. The tunnel would snap shut before anything could travel through it. To keep a wormhole open long enough for humans or spacecraft to pass safely, scientists think exotic matter might be needed. This mysterious material would have strange properties such as negative energy density, something never observed in normal matter. Black holes may also play a role in wormhole theory. Some scientists think black holes could act as entrances to wormholes. But this creates another major problem: escaping the other side. Einstein's mathematics also hinted at theoretical objects called white holes, which would do the opposite of black holes by pushing matter outward instead of pulling it inward. A stable wormhole might require a black hole entrance and a white hole exit. Yet white holes have never been observed, and many scientists doubt they exist at all. Modern science has even performed small experiments inspired by wormholes. In 2015, researchers created a type of magnetic wormhole in a laboratory. It did not open a tunnel through space, but it allowed magnetic fields to disappear in one place and reappear somewhere else. The experiment showed that some wormhole-like effects may actually be possible in nature. Scientists are also studying other ideas for faster-than-light travel. One famous concept is the Alcubierre drive, sometimes called a warp drive. Instead of moving a spaceship faster than light directly, the drive would bend space itself around the ship. Space in front of the spacecraft would shrink while space behind it expanded, carrying the ship forward like a wave. This idea also comes from Einstein's equations, but it would require unimaginable amounts of energy. Another idea involves one of the strangest effects in physics: time dilation. According to Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, time moves differently for objects traveling close to the speed of light. For people on Earth, a trip to Andromeda would take over 2.5 million years. But for astronauts traveling near light speed, time inside the spacecraft could move much slower. From the traveler's point of view, the journey might feel much shorter. Some calculations suggest a spacecraft constantly accelerating at Earth like gravity could reach Andromeda in about 28 years for the passengers on board. The problem is that humans currently have no technology capable of reaching anywhere near light speed. Even if humans somehow solved all technological problems, there is another challenge: survival outside the galaxy. The space between galaxies is even emptier than normal space. There are fewer stars, fewer planets, and almost no useful resources. A spacecraft leaving the Milky Way would travel through dark, lonely regions of the universe for millions of years. The Milky Way itself is also moving through space. Our galaxy travels along with many other galaxies in a giant structure called the local group. Beyond that are even larger cosmic structures containing thousands of galaxies connected by gravity. The universe is constantly changing, expanding, and evolving. One surprising fact is that the universe itself may make intergalactic travel even harder over time. Scientists discovered that the universe is expanding, and that expansion is accelerating because of something called dark energy. This means distant galaxies are slowly moving farther away from us. In the far future, some galaxies may become impossible to reach because space itself expands too quickly between them. Humans may eventually spread across the solar system before even thinking about leaving the galaxy. Scientists believe future colonies could exist on Mars, moons of Jupiter or Saturn, or even giant space habitats floating in space. These goals alone are already incredibly difficult and may take centuries to achieve. Traveling between stars inside our own galaxy is already a massive challenge. The nearest star system to Earth, Alpha Centauri, is over 4 light-years away. Even reaching nearby stars may require technologies humans do not yet possess. Leaving the Milky Way would be thousands of times harder. Still, humans continue dreaming about deep space exploration. Curiosity is part of human nature. Throughout history, humans crossed oceans, climbed mountains, and explored dangerous places simply to learn what was beyond the horizon. Space may become humanity's next great frontier. Some scientists believe advanced civilizations elsewhere in the universe may already solve these problems differently. Perhaps highly advanced alien civilizations use technologies humans cannot yet imagine. They may travel using methods far beyond modern physics. So far, however, humans have found no confirmed evidence of intelligent alien life. Artificial intelligence and robotics may also play a major role in future exploration. Instead of sending humans directly, advanced robotic probes could travel across deep space much more easily. Machines do not need oxygen, food, or protection from boredom. They can survive harsh conditions that humans cannot. Future generations may create technologies that seem impossible today. Hundreds of years ago, aeroplanes, computers, and moon landings sounded like fantasy. Human knowledge keeps growing, and science often surprises us. What seems impossible now may become possible far in the future. But even with future technology, the size of the universe remains overwhelming. The Milky Way Galaxy is only one galaxy among possibly trillions in the observable universe. The scale of space is so enormous that human minds struggle to fully understand it. Perhaps the biggest lesson from this question is how small humanity truly is. Earth is a tiny planet orbiting an ordinary star inside one galaxy among countless others. Yet despite our small size, humans continue asking huge questions about the universe and our place within it. The dream of leaving the Milky Way Galaxy may never completely disappear. It represents humanity's desire to explore the unknown and push beyond every limit. Even if humans never physically leave the galaxy, our curiosity may still carry us farther through science, discovery, and imagination. One possible clue comes from objects called hypervelocity stars. These are rare stars moving so fast that they can actually escape the gravity of the Milky Way and fly into intergalactic space. Scientists first predicted their existence in 1988 and later discovered real examples in 2005. Some astronomers believe these stars are launched outward after dangerous encounters with the supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy. Others may be created after giant supernova explosions inside binary star systems. In theory, an advanced civilization could one day use a hypervelocity star almost like a moving spaceship, traveling with it as it slowly drifts toward another galaxy. However, even this method would still take millions of years. For now, the Milky Way remains our cosmic home. Every human who has ever lived existed somewhere inside this giant galaxy. The stars we see at night are part of an enormous system stretching across space for 100,000 light years. And although humanity may one day travel farther than ever before, leaving the Milky Way Galaxy could remain one of the greatest challenges in the history of civilization. Perhaps humanity may never physically leave the Milky Way Galaxy. Or maybe future civilizations, thousands or millions of years from now, will discover technologies we cannot yet imagine today. Just as airplanes once seemed impossible to ancient humans, intergalactic travel may one day become reality for our distant descendants. Until then, the dream of reaching other galaxies continues to inspire science, space exploration, and the endless human desire to explore the unknown. Stay connected with Planets in Perspective so you never miss any latest update on everything you want to know about space and its beyond.